But anyhow, my watch must have died. That's going to be fun. I'm going to make another variation of homemade cranberry sauce for your Thanksgiving. And I made one the other day, but I'm tweaking this because there's so many different ways you can make this. And I have a bag, 12 ounce of fresh cranberries. And you got to use fresh, people. It is way more delicious than using the canned stuff. I gotta tell you. So I have rinsed up all my cranberries. I'm tossing them into the, so easy to make, you won't believe it. Tossing it into the saucepan. It calls for 1 cup of sugar. So I have my granulated sugar here. You won't believe how easy it is. And more fresh and more bright and more delicious all around. So 1 cup of granulated sugar going in. That's what makes it thick. I'm putting in 1 cinnamon stick. So the actual recipe is just 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and your cranberries. How easy is that? That's just if you want your standard cranberry. But we are tweaking ours, and instead of the water, we are putting orange juice. Again, I almost thought about putting lemon juice, but changing my mind. But I need a cup, so I'm gonna zest my lemon. Well, actually, I want to use the bigger grate. So let me see if I can do it with this. It's not working. Let me see about this one. I washed them and I guess they're gone. I don't want a whole lot, but I want enough. You don't want the white pits, so you have to keep moving your orange around. Okay, I just want enough in there. And let me see if my zester works better than this. I thought I could use a box grater and it would give me bigger grates, but it's not working. So back to the zester and get smaller. See, more, just a little more. I don't need a whole lot. I just want to scent it with the zest. This one's drying, so now it's working better. Now you have to wash your oranges to make sure they're dry because you want to be able to zest it. So that's all the zest I need. But now I need my orange juice. So I need a cup of orange juice. And to replace the water, it's going to give it that bright, citrusy vibe. And I have my orange juicer here, my electric one. I'll make it easy on myself. Substitute some water if you don't have a lot of orange. Did you hear me? I said, if you only had 1 orange, just do 1 orange and the rest orange. Hello, hello. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Carolina Moon and Miss Ryder and Diamond. Diamond's what, 1343? Hello, hello. We're making fresh cranberry. Fresh is always better, folks. Okay, this isn't quite a cup. So if you don't have a cup, just add water till you get to a cup. Because I don't want to zest it. It's going to be perfectly fine. So it calls for a cup of water. And we have mostly orange juice. So we're going to come over here to our pan. This is so easy. It takes minutes. And you'll have a delicious, fresh cranberry. Okay, let's go in there with the orange juice. And I'm going to get the rest of the zest off my board. Now, what we're adding differently is we're adding a cinnamon stick to give it that little infusion. We're also adding a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're just going to stir this around. And once these start popping in about 10 minutes, it's done. Stick it in the refrigerator. I'm going to put it on high, not simmer. Come back here. See what else I'm going to do. I read this
in a long time. So first for the BB, we're gonna need some beef bacon. See, people that don't like or can't have pork, I look out for y'all sometime too. Cook your bacon. I'm tired of getting sprayed, so put that little lid on. And you wonder why we're not hungry.
What happened? Something happened to me. I think my Facebook, I touched something. Anyhow, I cored an apple, and I have an apple core here. And one green apple, because I just want to add a tiny bit of green apple vibe. And my cranberries are already starting to pop. Oh yes, I wanted to add some crystallized ginger too. So I'm just going to take a couple of chunks of my crystallized ginger. Can you hear that popping? Listen. And we want this tiny. So I love cranberry. And I'm going to put out the regular jellied can of cranberry. Don't worry, never fear. But I want to change. I'm going to have the regular jellied one, and then I'm going to have a little bowl of this. And I love my cranberry, and I eat it, make turkey sliders, and I make turkey sandwiches, and I just eat it after Thanksgiving. So I have this crystallized ginger, and it's candy. It tastes, you can eat it. I'm just putting in 3 little blocks. You can put as much as you like. I'm infusing it with that. And then I'm going to add some apple. Just to give it some, I want it to be fresh and bright. And this is the smallest apple I could find. And I'm going to stir. In the meantime, I'm going to stir this because it'll let you see what's going on in here. You see those cranberries starting to pop? Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes. The pop, pop, pop. And I plan to make, you got to keep your ears open and your eyes, because I'm going to make some classic banana pudding with the vanilla wafers, and I'm going to make some potato, what do you call it? I forgot the name. Anyway, potato Japanese or something. Julia Child recipe. I'm making my mashed potatoes, but I'm making a couple of, I'm trying to different things for you folks, give you ideas. And that potato casserole I want to make, that I've been seeing trending here and there, and then I looked it up and watched Julia Child's original recipe, and it appealed to me. And it would go perfect with ham. But I want to try it out, so I'm going to have mashed potatoes and I'm going to have that. And I want this apple here to be just as tiny as it can be. And it's okay if it's not all cooked down like the cranberry, because I wanted to have brightness to it. And this is actually like a chutney. You could put it in your sandwiches. But I was excited to see a recipe that incorporated apples in it. And then I thought about, hey, I'm going to put some of my fresh ginger and crystallized candied ginger that I have in there. Bet you that would be good. So I'm kicking it up in Deb's kitchen. And I'm trying to get this as tiny as can be. Who else is here? Hi. With your card now at Starbucks to our house. What's that? Is that an ad? Okay. I think that's tiny enough. And that was just one small apple. And what happened? I got this pieces missed. My grandkids stayed over last night and woo, chaos. You think I'm patient though? You should have seen me last night when they get out of hand. They wouldn't go to sleep. They were all together. They haven't seen each other for ages. They were up at 12 o'clock midnight. My son built a fort for them. The favorite uncle. He used to love to build some forts in his days. He built it outside. He built it inside, wherever he could build a fort. That's why he loves the outdoors. That was a firefighter, but he built it in a tree. He built it out in the field. He would always turn my furniture upside down and build it. And all the kids know that. So they were like, please, Uncle Jared, build us a fort. So he turned all my furniture upside down and they had a fort. And I went crazy. So there goes my one apple. And that's all there is to it. So we're just going to cook these until these start all popping down, which you can see they're already doing. And that cinnamon stick is going to infuse some goodness, and as well as the ginger. Let me find my pretty bowl that I put this in. And yes, we're just using the Ocean Spray cranberries, and they have the recipe right on the back. Like I said, it's only 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and these 3 cups of fresh cranberries. But you can kick it up and make it your own. I'm using this soft dried ginger that I got on Amazon. It's home TM soft dried candied ginger from real ginger pieces. And if you're in a health journey and you want to get in your ginger, buy this. It's delicious. I just like to eat it like that. Get your ginger in. Put it in your tea. Spicy. And I'm going to be making a turkey again, a whole turkey this time, later on. And right now I'm going to be making a cheese ball, so don't go away. I always was famous for my cheese balls back in the day. When I first got married, that's what I would bring everywhere, a cheese ball, because I didn't cook a lot at that time. I would be making cheese balls for days, because I love cheese, and nothing like a cheese ball on the holiday. You gotta have a cheese ball. I've seen so many variations, I decided to make it my own. So most of these are popped. You see it's thickening? I'm waiting for 10 minutes because it says stir it for 10 minutes and I set a timer. Alexa, how much time left on my 10-minute timer? Alexa, volume 3, how much time left on my timer? No timer set. Nah, I tell you. Well, I know already. I'm eyeballing it. But it says on the package to boil it 10 minutes. But I think it's about ready because it is mostly popped and it's already thick. So let's go over here and see who's on here. Hi, Donna. I hope you guys are going to have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Okay, so I have this pretty pampered chef crystal dish that my dear friend, who's gone to be with the Lord, Jamie, gave me because she knew I entertained a lot. And one day she was moving and she had a bunch of stuff and she called, she asked me if I would like to have it. And I said, oh, sure, it's beautiful. So here it is. Okay, so our cranberry is done. And there's some whole cranberries in there. You might want to just break them up a little, just pop them. Or you might just want some big old pieces of cranberry in there, which would be fine with me. They're bright and fresh and yummy. And this is going in. And as soon as it gets to room temperature, I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator. It smells wonderful already. And I am going to leave that cinnamon stick in there because it's pretty. Look at, stick it down in there. But when I put it in out, I put the cinnamon on top, and then you could even grate some more orange on there just so people will know what's in there. But I want to taste it even though it's hot. It still has to meld together, but you could put walnuts in there, but a lot of people can't eat nuts, so I'm leaving out the walnuts. I have walnuts and everything else, so look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's so bright and red, fresh. Everything fresh. Fresh is always better. And when it cools down, it's just delicious. I love cranberry. I'm going to make a Jell-O pretzel salad, you know, the strawberry one. And I am going to put a can of whole cranberry sauce from the can and fresh strawberries, frozen strawberries. It's already good. So there you go. Your own fresh cranberry, 10 minutes or less. You could go buy the stuff today and make it. Make your Thanksgiving special. So let me put this aside. I'm going to put it on top of a trivet to cool. Right here. Then I'm going to put in the refrigerator. And we're on to the next thing. I'm going to clear, don't go away because I'm going to clear up and I'm going to make a cheese ball. You've been in Deb's Kitchen where everything is simple, budget friendly, fresh, sometimes healthy, but always delicious. And if you haven't already, go to my YouTubes, like, subscribe, share, send me some comments, and have a blessed Thanksgiving holiday. You've been a